Welcome to the Urban Conservative Podcast, where we do not believe that avocado toast can save the planet or the world will end, because cars use gasoline. You won't hear that Wi-Fi is a basic human right, or that billionaires are secretly supervillains. Here, we do not believe that electric cars run on hopes and dreams. You also won't hear that anyone who disagrees with us is a fascist, or that socialism will make everyone rich. You won't be gender affirmed or offered any opportunity to share your preferred pronouns. If this causes you any discomfort, please rest assured that we couldn't possibly care less. For everyone else, thank you, and please stand by.
My fellow Americans, it's time for the Urban Conservative Podcast. This is without a doubt the best podcast on the internet. It's about to go down here on the Urban Conservative.
3, 2.
The Supreme Court justices officially coming into the rotunda. As we noted earlier, John Roberts, the Chief Justice, will administer the presidential oath, and he was immediately followed by Associate Justice Brett Kavanaugh, who will be swearing in J.D. Vance as Vice President.
And you note at the end of that line, retired Justice David Breyer,
Right.
joining some of his former colleagues. Of course, Ketanji Brown Jackson and Amy Coney Barrett on the end, the two newest justices.
We see Second Gentleman Doug Emhoff, and next to him, First Lady Jill Biden, about to make their entrance into the rotunda. But first, Donald Trump's children.
Talk about those good seats that the tech titans have. I mean, they are all lined up immediately behind the president-elect's children. So, you know, something went into that seating chart. And we saw Jared Kushner earlier shaking hands with Tim Cook from Apple and Sundar Pichai of Google, right on down the road, Mark Zuckerberg.
Ladies and gentlemen, escorting Dr. Biden and Mr. Emhoff, the Republican staff director of the Joint Congressional Committee on Inaugural Ceremonies, Ms. Emily Leviner, the Senate Secretary for the Minority, the Honorable Gary Myrick, the House of Representatives Chief Administrative Officer, the Honorable Catherine Spindor, and Mr. Bruce Fisher. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Jill Biden and Mr. Douglas Emhoff.
Now, First Lady Jill Biden and Second Gentleman Doug Emhoff officially making their entrance into the rotunda.
This special coverage of the 2025 presidential inauguration is brought to you in part by Ed Broyhill, the RNC committee man for the great state of North Carolina. Under Ed's leadership, North Carolina won for Donald Trump in both 2020 and 2024. Thank you again, Ed Broyhill, for your service to the Republican Party and your support of the urban. This season of The Urban Conservative is brought to you by Homium, helping to build generational wealth for historically disadvantaged groups, low-income households, and first-time homebuyers. Homium is helping to bridge the affordability gap for home ownership in your community. Visit homium.io.
Sagar, I was just looking ahead to the schedule of what we're going to see in terms of this swearing-in ceremony, and there is a
event together outdoors ended, and here we are inside the rotunda, but a spot where at least Amy Klobuchar is well familiar from her time in the Senate. Very interesting mix of Republican and Democrat lawmakers standing together. You have Michael McCall, the Republican from Texas, Debbie Wasserman Schultz, a Democrat from Florida, standing shoulder to shoulder, and another sign of just how tight it is in the rotunda. See Melania Trump's father standing in front of Elon Musk and next to Barron Trump. Melania Trump's mother, of course, died while they were out of the White House, and her dad is back to watch her become First Lady for the second time. According to the schedule that they had put out, and things in Washington rarely, if ever, happen on schedule, except things like the inauguration, should be seeing J.D. Vance take his oath as vice president in about 10 minutes from now. As Brett Kavanaugh awaits actually administering that oath.
See the spouses, Lucia Vance, and then Melania Trump. about to be escorted into the rotunda.
This special coverage of the 2025 presidential inauguration is brought to you in part by Ed Broyhill, the RNC committee man for the great state of North Carolina. Under Ed's leadership, North Carolina won for Donald Trump in both 2020 and 2024. Thank you again, Ed Broyhill, for your service to the Republican Party and your support of the urban.
Ladies and gentlemen, performing "Oh America," please welcome the Armed Forces Chorus and America's tenor, Christopher D. Macchio.
Hear you calling me. You are calling me to be true to thee, true to thee. I will be. Oh, America, no weeping. Let there be no wounded heart. I will keep you in my keeping till there'll be
Everybody ready to be unburdened by what has been.
from your mountains grand.